Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Late Nights in the Party Chats. I'm one of your lovely three hosts, John. And joining me tonight are my two beautiful assistants, Justin
Hello.
and Justice.
Hello, you handsome people.
I don't like that he called us
So,
assistants. I think that's rude and demeaning. I prefer the term house slave.
You know what? No, I'm.
sorry. My two wonderful co-pookies.
Thank you. Thank you.
I honestly, I liked the promotion from house slave to assistant, but
Oh,
some
there's
of
no
us like being
actual
degraded,
promotion. It was just trying to make you feel better.
Listen, man,
and that's all I need anymore.
are we kink shaming? It's barely been a minute and we're already kink shaming.
It happens.
Our entire livelihood is shaming you. What do you mean?
That's valid. That's valid. Oh God.
Well, excluding shaming Justin for the various things he does with his day to day, what are we doing today? What are we talking about?
Well, I gotta be honest with you guys. I got really bored at work one night, and I keep seeing clips for this show on TikTok that just had its 100th episode. The clip made me laugh my butt off that I decided to start watching it. And it's on Hulu. It's called The Rookie.
Oh, the one with Nathan
And-
Never heard of
Fillion.
it.
Yes!
Yes, I haven't watched it, but I've seen those clips on TikTok.
It is beyond worth a watch.
Never heard of it.
You do yourself a favor and just give it some episodes.
Just
Basically, so
don't
like
watch
to
it.
summarize, like it's basically like this 50-year-old guy played by Nathan Fillion who has who's in like the middle of this horrible divorce. He's at like the lowest point in his life, and he has this event happen, and he watches these police officers do their job, and it gives him the drive to pick up, move out to LA, and become a cop. And he passes, and he is the oldest rookie in LA police history. Period. And it just follows like him and his other officers, like the stuff that they do.
I wonder if that's based on like
okay.
a true story.
Is it really? I guess that I didn't know.
I don't know if it is. That's what I said. I wonder if it is because that sounds pretty like plausible.
But it's kind of one of those shows where I was like, I didn't think it was on a streaming service. I thought it was like just one of those normal TV shows that isn't on anything.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I took a swing at it one break, and there it was.
So
But anyway, so I've been watching that. I'm like on episode, like season 2 of episode 15 or 16 out of I think 20 episode seasons. I have been binging this show, to be honest with you.
I get it. I get it. I feel it. Um, I've been watching Pretty Little Liars with Danny.
That's the type of show my mom watched when I was younger. What the hell?
That's the type of show I was forced to watch as my sister babysat me when I was
Dude,
little.
like-
Right?
sitting and watching the show, it like I love drama shows as much as the next person, but it actively pisses me off the way that this is written. Because like the main thing that kind of irritates me is there is one of the main character girls. Her name is Aria, and she is 16 years old in the show. Obviously, the actress wasn't 16 at the time, but she is a 16-year-old girl in the show, and she is dating a college professor, and like is actively
Of course.
in this relationship with a college professor who was, I think, when she was like in junior high school, he was a senior or something. Danny kind of explained it to me, but like the last episode we watched the other night, she left him this voice message and was like, if you meet me at this bus stop or whatever, I'll know that we can work things out. If you don't come, then I know that you don't want to work things out. And like it shows him like deleting the message and like sitting in his office at the college. And I was like, good, finally, he's making a good decision. And we're sitting there, we're watching it. And then like 5 minutes later, she's sitting at the bus stop. It's raining. You think, oh, she's about to get up and leave. Guess who pulls up in his fucking car? Like,
Oh, God.
I was like, I thought for maybe 1 second he was going to do the right thing. Because they had almost gotten caught like 2 or 3 episodes before that. Because her and her friends ended up in the hospital. Or at the police station. That's what it was, the police station. And he shows up and he talks to this girl's mom. And this girl's mom thinks that he is dating her friend Spencer. But then Arya comes out and tells her parents that she's been in this relationship with the teacher. And like things go to hell in a handbasket, and she gets grounded, and like her phone confiscated, and she's still like going behind their back to be in a relationship with this teacher. And I'm like, why? Actively, why?
Well,
Why is
and a
this
part of
thing?
that, this is like off topic from the TV show already, but I saw one of those like what's his name, Ray William Johnson or whatever.
Yeah.
He talks about like all these stories and stuff, and I literally saw one the other day that was like a high school teacher secretly dating this 15-year-old student, managing to pull this off, marrying her when she turned 18. Guy killed his wife so he'd be able to do it. It's just
What
like,
the fuck?
what the fuck?
I really like,
People are fucked up.
small side tangent, I really like the shift Ray William Johnson did from his music career that he had back in the early 2000s. I think it was Your
He had
Favorite
a music
Martian.
career.
Yeah, Your Favorite Martian.
Oh my god, that was him.
That was him. And he like kind
Yo,
of he
that
kind of
cover of
really-
Beastie Boys, like that was high school John's like jam.
he kind of fell off for a little
I
while.
really thought.
Then he came back, and now he does like the commentary stuff, and I think that's really cool.
I really thought Justin was about to go. Hold on, side tangent. I really like how that guy killed him.
I really like how that guy killed his wife. That was my
I really
favorite
like how
part of
that
the
man
story.
was like murdered his wife for a 16-year-old.
that part pretty good. That really made me think of Pretty Little Liars, man. That part really gets.
God, but there's so much fucking drama in Pretty Little Liars, and I like drama, like reality shows or TV shows as much as the next person, but like Jesus Christ, there's only so much I can take before I'm like, this is just unrealistic. You're throwing drama just to have drama.
Well, like that's what half of those shows are. Is it's just a bunch of, hey, here's some absolutely like crazy stuff that either A would never happen in like a rational, reasonable real life scenario, or B, it's we took some of the craziest stories we've heard from all of our employees and threw them in one episode and then did it again the next, because it's content. It has people going, oh my gosh, I can't believe Stephanie and Bethany did this crazy thing to this guy, and now his life's ruined. So he did this crazy thing to that girl, and now her life's ruined.
It feels a little hypocritical to like bag on Pretty Little Liars for that, because I'm also the person who watched what is it? It's the Archie Comics show. What is
Riverdale.
it? Riverdale. I watched Riverdale at one point, and I was like, "This is peak media right here."
Riverdale's so
Well, it's not
bad.
even.
Riverdale's so
It's
bad.
not even just. It's not even just Pretty Little Liars. It's like a lot of them. Like in my case, I don't
Secret
watch a
Life
lot of
of
those
American
shows.
Teenagers.
I don't watch a lot of those
Any
shows, but I do
ABC
watch
or
like
Freeform
Vikings.
TV show.
But no, go ahead. Sorry, we interrupted you.
We really did.
No, that's all good. I do. Yeah, no, it's alright. I'll just be extremely mad forever. Anyway, I watch like Vikings. I don't watch a lot of those like more kind of modern like drama shows. But like even Vikings has a lot of those like crazy twist dramas that it's the wildest stuff. Like you got Ragnar's brother betraying him time after time after time. Or
tread carefully. I'm on like episode 5 or 6. No, I'm a little further than that. I'm aware of they're preparing. Ragnar's brother is getting ready to attack Kattegat with the bald head dude.
Well, that is not episode 5 or 6.
I don't remember. I'll look it up real quick. Hold on. I got my phone.
That's like season 4.
No, it's not. I'm only in season 1. Where is it? I'm in season 1, episode 8.
Anyway, regardless, the point still stands. It's very like there's a lot of drama, and it's all about, hey, let's tell an absolutely crazy, ridiculous story so people can go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. I need to know what happens next. So they tune in next time. They keep watching. They get the watch time. And it brings people back.
Listen, it's funny that we sit here and complain about drama shows, like actual like drama TV shows, but we've watched anime.
Dude.
Okay, but anime has peak storytelling in it. I've yet to see, and at least like anime, like the way the anime works, at least it has the comfort of not having to have dramatic plot hook after dramatic plot hook in most cases.
That's fair.
Because you have like the filler episodes, but you also have like those actual like canon plot points that are like they're not that high risk.
That's correct. And I want to say to some degree, like a lot of these drama shows have the same thing. It's just they have to be a bit more. In the case of a lot of the animes, at least a lot of the animes that I watch, they have the freedom to be as goofy and fun and creative just as much as they are drama-wise. In most dramas, you don't get to be funny. If you just had, Steven cheat on Bethany and Bethany took her life, you don't get to go to the next scene and have them have a water balloon fight. That's not how that works.
Nah, they should start doing that.
That'd be fucked up. It's just a scene of
Bethany just offs herself. Steven's going to the fucking police station to report his crimes, and the next episode is the beach episode.
You beat me to it. That was just like, you son of a bitch.
That would be funny.
I don't know. I just like.
I mean, like, there's a lot of good TV shows. I know John and I were kind of vibing with Letterkenny a few months ago.
I need to go back to that.
I need to finish season 10.
The last thing I saw was like season 7, I think.
Oh my gosh.
And that's just because, that's when I started having the issue at one point where, for some reason, I could not, like my Hulu, would not show me anything beyond season 1 of Letterkenny. It did not give me an option for anything else.
Yeah.
And so I stopped watching it because I couldn't watch what I wanted to watch with it, and I just kind of never went back.
That's valid.
How about that Young Sheldon, though?
I've never watched Young Sheldon. I see clips of it on fucking TikTok. But, like, I don't know. I wasn't a Big Bang Theory kind of guy. And I don't know. Young Sheldon just, like, I know it's good, but it doesn't do it for me.
I've been told the opposite. I've never seen the show. I do like Big Bang Theory, but I've been told Young Sheldon is fucking trash. I don't know if that's true. I've just been told.
I feel like it just kind of depends on exactly what you're looking at it for, because like I thought it was horrible at first, because to me it was a Big Bang Theory cash grab. because like it came out around the time at like the peak of Big Bang Theory popularity. I want to say, from what I remember.
No, Big Bang Theory
Yeah.
ended in I think like 2 years later they did the Young Sheldon.
Oh, was that okay? Well, regardless of like what it was still just like it seemed like a reach to like try to keep the hype train, and that's just kind of what I wrote it off of as. And don't get me wrong, those first few episodes were rough.
I mean, pilot
But-
episodes
Well,
generally
I mean, when you
are.
have an IP and it made money at one point, you want to keep trying.
Final
It's
Fantasy.
like video games. If you have a video game that does really well, and then you make a second one and it doesn't do as well, well, you're going to try a third one because maybe it'll do better.
Man, it's
And
just like I
until
said
at some point
earlier.
you just realize it's not.
It's like
Is that
I
why
said.
Call of Duty has done World War II like 4 times?
It's because
Yeah.
they're trying to remake World at War and they're never going to. But it's like what I said with
Well,
Final
I-
Fantasy the other day. Like I was talking to Justice and Sam about it, and I was like, "Man, instead of making like the whole Final Fantasy VII game, or like making all 3 of them and putting them in a collection or whatever." It's like you're gonna wait 7 years to play this game that when it came out it did have 3 discs or whatever, but you had the whole game.
Yeah.
You could play the whole game.
And that was my issue and why I didn't bother looking at the remake forever, because it annoyed the hell out of me that this game, that I know it's an HD remake and it's a big game, but why am I paying probably more than twice what the original full game cost for 1/3 of what was in the original? And now, since started playing the remake that while back, I understand.
I mean,
And
if
I've
you look
seen
at
the
it right,
stuff,
like
yeah,
you paid probably, I don't know how much games cost back in the day, but let's say $40.
$20.
It was $20. Okay,
$20.
so you pay $20, so you're paying now $40 more up to, if you get the deluxe edition, that's $80-$90. So you're paying,
tripled it,
tripled the
in
price just to get the first part of the game, and then 3 years later have to spend $90 again to get the second part of the game, and then another 3 years later have to spend another $90 to get the last part of the game. And like I get that, like John said, I get that it's a big game and it's a HD remaster and they've added stuff and they've changed some things, but I still look at that as just a money hungry business practice. Like,
So I don't want to agree with that sentiment, because if from playing the games, I've played both of them. I've played both of them like to completion, and I'm obviously working on Rebirth right now. I don't think it's fair to say it's just a fancy remake of the game with some additions. Yes, it has the same characters, the same concept, and wants to tell a similar story, but I truly believe it is an entirely different game. Because of just how much has been done, even though it shares a title and just general concept, I think it is an entirely different game, which justifies it being broken up, which also justifies it being as expensive as it is. I think if they just wanted, my belief, if they wanted to just remake the game, 100% keep it exactly the same, HD remake, it'd be cool, but I don't think it would have done as well. I don't
think
believe
it would have. We've talked about before, Final Fantasy VII is like a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy game. I think
It's a lot of
that
people's favorite game.
And the other thing too is that when you look at modern Final Fantasy, it starts from 7. Everything before 7, to my knowledge, was 2D pixel game.
You're
Final
correct.
Fantasy 7 is where you start to get, I believe you have the ATB, you have the
You are
3D
correct.
model open world format like that, you have...
Yep.
It's kind of the same thing where, like, now Pokemon, like, X and Y is... Like, don't get me wrong, they're not perfect games, but people look back more fondly on them because that is the start of, quote, modern Pokemon. That's where a lot of the stuff that you see now in these later generations originated or got its start from there.
Right.
And speaking of which, we're getting a new Legends game. I know that means absolutely nothing to you two, but I am beyond excited that we're getting a new Pokemon game that's not coming out this year. And that makes me so happy, because that means for the, quote, mainline series of the game, they're actually stopping the yearly release for once and taking their time with it. And it just fills me with hope and joy.
So they might actually make a good Pokemon game?
Well, okay, so so it's they started a few years ago a format of game that's the Legends games is what it is. And
Arceus
so far it's only
Legends.
been one game.
Arceus Legends.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Or Legends Arceus, whatever it was. Yeah, I know.
Get it right.
I don't know. Let the man cook.
No.
And this
He
one
talks about
really took
Pokemon
the
too much.
approach. It really hooks the idea of a preliminary to like an open world Pokemon game that they tried to execute more in the new like Scarlet Violet and just didn't quite hit the mark. But the gameplay difference from Legends to the mainline game, I feel like the Legends games are what all of the mainline gameplay should feel like. And I'm just really excited that they're continuing with these Legends series, because it also allows them to explore these different stories or plot hooks that they've set up in the main games, but maybe haven't quite fully been able to execute or explore like they want to.
Isn't Legends Arceus the one with the prehistoric mommy doctor?
No, that's Scarlet that you're thinking of.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm going to buy that game.
You need to switch first, pal.
No, I'm just going to buy the game.
Okay.
I'm never going to play it. I'm just going to buy the game.
I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to buy the game, and you're still never going to see her, because I don't think she's anywhere on the cover of the game.
That's okay.
I'm just gonna have it knowing I could see her.
Yeah.
Bro's like just edging himself? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the waiting game.
It's not that deep, bro.
You're gonna wait for me to bring my Switch to a get together.
I text Justice the other day, and like I was on Instagram, and IGN shared this post where it was like, you can romance Tifa in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I immediately texted him, and I was like, I'm getting Final Fantasy Rebirth.
And then I made fun of him.
Look, I'm just saying, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If no romance option, why make hot?
Right.
Yeah, if there's no romance option, why is Barrett there?
Why
exactly?
Why is Sephiroth
you think he
in
can
the
only
game
switch like machine guns
if I
onto that
cannot
arm?
dick him down?
Dude, for real. Like, they did that shit on purpose. Every scene Sephiroth is in, they make him look explicitly attractive.
Dude,
like,
I was playing Final Fantasy
they knew what
VII,
they were doing.
the remake, like Final Fantasy VII remake, and like I shit you not, 2 or 3 of the scenes that he was in with Cloud at the beginning of the game, you just see his mouth, and he's like smirking or something, and I'm like, they're thirst trapping the fuck out of people.
His mouth, his eyes.
You cannot.
They
tell
knew what
me
they were doing.
People wouldn't riot if Sephiroth was ugly.
Okay, well, like, look at some of the other Final Fantasy villains that are semi well known. Like, you got the fucking Gilgamesh, the Sword Master. That dude is ugly in every game he's in, and he's in a lot of Final Fantasy games.
But then they did Gilgamesh justice by giving him that like prequel game, that Strangers of Paradise or whatever. The main character in that is Gilgamesh, or that's who he becomes.
I did not know that.
I was gonna say,
Let me find it.
look at
quick.
like Kingdom Hearts, right? They had Xehanort, and they had like old Xehanort, and he's just this bald old man, and then they're like, oh no, Xehanort has like 13 versions of himself, or like 13 copies, and they're like most of them are hot.
I really want to go on a tangent about this, but I think I'm just gonna bite my tongue right now.
I think we're getting a little off topic from our original talking point.
Oh, we are,
Back
but
to-
isn't that what happens in the party chat?
Yeah,
You know what? You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I
That's
hope your day is
incorrect.
going very well, and then you just every time your day starts to go good, I hope you just step on a Lego.
God, did Sam
For
tell
about-
you about what we did last night for like an hour and a half?
Yes, he filled me in.
All right, let's briefly explain. For about an hour to almost 2 hours last night, Justin and I kept going back and forth with what we call "I hope you," essentially saying something really like not bad at all. Like, I hope you go to take a shower and the water takes too long to get hot for like 2 hours. Silly stuff like that, and we just kept going for no reason. I don't really even know how it started.
I don't remember how
You're
it
getting a
started.
little robot-y, just a heads up.
But
Hey, you're a robot.
no, it was legit like, I hope that you put your shoe on and you always feel like there's a rock in your shoe, but every time you go check, there's no rock in your shoe. So you put your shoe back on, but you still feel it.
You know what? That's a horrible, monstrous thing to say, and I don't know if I want to be associated with you anymore.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, it's not.
So, but yeah, no, like I sent a picture real quick in the group chat on Discord here, and
No.
that's
I gotta go to
that's
Discord.
what Gilgamesh looks like. That's him under the armor.
Let me go.
So he looks like the dude that helps Noctis at the beginning of 15.
Oh god, I need to go back and play 15 again.
No.
That one was good.
I also need
Good
to
game.
beat and play. Okay, I need to play 15 again because I'm literally one trophy from
One
the
trophy
platinum.
away from
From the
the
platinum.
platinum.
I'm one trophy away from the platinum, and then I need to go and beat 16 and platinum 16, and then I'll consider sitting down for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth and getting those. But
Do you know
Well,
what trophy you have left on 15?
I have to max out the camping skill.
Oh, that's not hard.
No, see, the problem, the thing that happened is, like, literally I was working towards that, and then I stopped playing the one day because I was like, I've been doing this for a few hours, I'm still not at 10, I'm just gonna take a break, I'll come back to it tomorrow, and then tomorrow never came.
Tomorrow.
So I know
never
it's
comes.
literally
I
just gonna
understand.
be like, I have to, because the problem is that I hardly ever camped out. And when I did camp out, it didn't seem like I did a whole lot of actual exploring in between. And so I just never really upped the camping skill, because that only really goes up when you're camping out. And so
Right.
I just
I'll
I
act like I know
probably
what you
won't
guys
do
are
a
talking
full
about.
playthrough there. Huh?
Yeah, just
I'll act like
just
I know
sit
what you
there
guys
and
are
smile.
talking about.
Just look pretty.
That's what I'm doing.
Seen, not heard.
That's what my parents
Yeah.
always told me.
Maybe not seen.
Like, I'm not joking. My parents always told me kids are meant to be seen, not heard. So, like, I wasn't allowed to talk a lot. But I did anyway, because I don't listen to my
dang.
parents.
Mom,
I said that unironically to Cass the other day about myself.
my parents always told me, get your big ass head out of the way of the fucking TV screen.
Yeah, I got that too, but
All
it
the
was you make
time.
a better door than you do a window.
I felt a little prideful today watching something. I went up to Pierce to hang out with my parents, and they had my niece and nephews. And my nephew was playing my Switch because he wants to play my Pokemon game. So I know what I'm getting him for his birthday. We're set. We're good. But he was playing it, and Dad walks into the living room and walks up to him playing the Switch and puts his hands and covers the screen. Is like, does this help? And I looked at him and I was like, that just brought back so many memories and filled me with a violent rage all in the same instance. I've also never felt prouder of like seeing it happen to my nephew. I was like, you understand now.
Oh god, that's like when your parents would walk into a room and you were playing a multiplayer game and they're like, hey, just pause it.
So my mom asked him to do something because he had to go clean something off of the bed real quick. And she was like, pause the game and go do it fast. And it's a Pokemon game. He can pause a Pokemon game. Looks at her, straight-faced, and says, I can't pause this, and then goes back to playing.
Get it, little man.
Get it.
I've never felt more proud of him.
Get it.
And, anyways, sorry, we're back. Good morning.
Speaking of TV, I've been watching a lot of The Daily Life of the Immortal King. Have you guys heard of that?
Is that
Nope.
is that the one about that like little boy?
That's so descriptive.
No, it's literally like a small 3-year-old child who is like who he becomes like the king of a kingdom.
No, that's not the. I know which one you're thinking of, but that's not this one.
Okay.
So this one is I want to say I think it's a Korean anime. It's essentially about cultivation, and the main character, like, he's super fucking OP, and like so OP to the point that like he can't use his full abilities because if he does, it'll literally destroy the planet with how much spiritual energy he has. So his parents have like spent their lives making talismans to put on him to suppress his spiritual energy, and it's just like the wacky hijinks that him and his friends get into. And I'm on season 2 now. Season 1 ended with him essentially like restarting time like a fucking million times. Like legit, like the last episode was him like restarting the timeline over and over and over and over again to save the girl that he loves.
I do that all the time.
That's what I do. I just casually restart time.
I get bored
every time
sometimes.
I think of like time reset shenanigans, I just think of like the first D&D campaign I was in, and I get a little bit of PTSD. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nerd.
Well,
I just think of the future Trunks arc.
I need to like, because there was some shit in this campaign that like I'm gonna tell you this sentence, and if the response I get isn't "what the fuck," then I know I'm handling this wrong.
Okay.
So I was in college, in the game room, and
hang on.
Educated, nah. Let it cook. But so we had a whole lot of like some people had a lot more downtime in between classes and stuff, and so something that we did is a bunch of us in there all got together and we started having this D&D campaign, and it was hosted by his name is Blaine, and super cool dude. Not ragging on the campaign at all. It's what got me into D&D.
Small unironic side tangent. There's people outside my apartment arguing, and I can hear them yelling.
Open the window. Tell them to shut the fuck up.
Anyway, continue.
Tell them to shut the fuck up and that you're recording a podcast.
Honestly, fuck.
But he had, and I don't remember all the specifics, but he had an issue in his campaign where this dark god was created and basically shattered the timeline into all these different variants, and it all happened because one of his player characters in another like the first time he ran in this world stabbed this random pig with this ancient time dagger and apparently something happened that just broke everything.
It just
And
sounds like some dude's real fucked up headcanon.
Right.
I just...
Listen, I've known Blaine since high school. Like, I grew up with Blaine. That's exactly the type of shit he would tell us.
you know what?
Yeah, I know exactly.
I had fun. Like, I'm not... Like I said, I'm not ragging on it at all. I had fun. I just, like... I still, like... Sometimes I lay in bed trying to, like... I think back to that campaign. And I really, like, start to think about some of the stuff that happened, and I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
Just like,
Wait, so why is time broken? All right, so there's this pig, right?
So there's this pig, right?
Yep, so there's this pig, and then there's this real dragon kobold looking motherfucker who has a time dagger.
But he doesn't know it's a
Okay.
time dagger.
I think he knew it was a time dagger. I'm pretty sure this happened because he said, I wonder what would happen.
Oh my god.
And it broke everything.
Yeah. Blaine always had this, like, when we were in high school at least. I haven't talked to Blaine very much in the last few years. But we when we were in school, we came up with this big old overarching, like, plot line for a story that, like, me and my friends were all a part of. And Blaine never wanted to actually communicate what he wanted to do with this story. So it was me, my friend Patrick, and another friend of ours, James. And it was just the three of us, and we would spitball back and forth and talk about shit and come up with ideas. And Blaine would never be a part of it. So then we actually sat down one day at lunch and told Blaine about all the stuff we had planned out. And it was essentially like a superhero, like, alternate universe.
Man, I wonder where I've been a part of one of those before.
Right. And we all got powers, and we gave him, because he wouldn't tell us what anything he told us he wanted to do was, like, super fucking broken. And we're like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, you can't be broken out the gate. That's not how this works. And so he just kind of stopped talking about it. So we gave him, like, the power of, like, technology, or, like, living code, essentially. And we explained it to him, and how he got his powers was very lackluster. And it was kind of a dig at him because he wouldn't be a part of, like, the actual conversations we were having. So we sat down and we explained it to him, and he was like, what? That's not fair. I don't like that. And we were like, too bad you weren't a part of it. Deal with it. Because he always had this thing where he had to, like, be the most powerful person that we were talking about in a scenario or whatever.
I do know that was kind of a point of contention a little bit in college, where, like, other people would host a D&D campaign, and the whole thing was, if the one example I have, there was only one time the session got done, because I don't know, I never really saw the guy again after this, but he let Blaine play as a paladin to this dark god that was created from the pig being stabbed with the time dagger. And the thing was that, like, okay, well, now the dark god exists in your world, and so everything I say he can do just flies.
Yeah.
And I remember that, like, being a point of contention a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I like Blaine.
Most of the campaign that we played was in his world as it was, so that didn't really faze me at all.
Yeah. I mean, I like Blaine. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I went to high school with him. I grew up with him. But, like, he had very big delusions of grandeur, and it kind of affected anything that we, like, kind of spitballed to each other. If we were even talking about, like, I think one thing we did in high school was, like, think of a useless superpower. Like, a superpower that you get that has no heroic ability. Like, it's completely impractical and useless. So, like, I don't remember what the other twos were, but mine was I can only levitate wooden chairs.
I'm getting a TikTok series image in my mind, but continue.
But it was like I couldn't levitate any chair. I couldn't levitate chairs that were mostly made of metal that had like a little bit of wood in them. Like it was only like wooden dining room chairs. And like
That's useless.
it's absolutely useless. But that was like the whole point, was to try and think of something that like has no purpose. Like this power is utterly useless.
Bro could telekinetically move a vase, but moving it also made it slippery.
Right. So, like, we talked to him about this, and any of the powers that he was coming up with was like, I can move knives, and I can, whatever. And it was like, no, because that could be useful. Or, like, I could do this. No, that's too powerful. And like, he kind of just stopped talking about it because, like I said, all of the stuff he wanted to do was like this big grandiose thing, and it just never fit what we were trying to do.
I've got one for you.
Go for it.
I have the ability to move any computer mouse a quarter inch to the right.
It does nothing but move the mouse.
But I'm just saying, if I use it right before somebody clicks something,
it's just inconvenient at that point.
That would mess with some serious competitive CS:GO matches.
Oh
I'll
my
tell you
God.
what.
John in the arena of the Rainbow Siege 6 tournament, slightly moving everybody's mouse a quarter inch to the left.
No. Everybody's mouth. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Just everyone just unleashed just.
But no, like I don't know. Blade's a good guy, but he always did have delusions of grandeur.
So, kind of on that same D&D topic. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to see. I'm wondering where we're at on time. I know we've been going for a little bit here, and certainly have jumped around
42
the topic.
minutes.
Probably get close to wrapping this one up here.
Well, John, are you?
My
gonna do
last
our
thing is
outro
I just
for
want to
us?
watch the D&D movie again. That's all.
I would watch the D&D.
But
haven't
it's
seen
only
that
on a
one.
paid service I don't own.
I haven't
Peacock.
seen that one.
We can watch it.
No, I don't like you.
Damn. John, quick, do the outro so I can stop talking to him.
Alright, so anyways, guys. Thank you for joining us today. I know this was kind of all over the place, but that's fine. Because that's how party chats go. So, I hope
That's
you all
true.
have a wonderful week. Love life. Hug your grandmas. And we
My
will
grandma's
see you
dead.
next time. It's fucking unfortunate.
Dig her up, hug her anyway.
Dig her up, hug her anyway.
Did I stutter? Alright. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Laters.